There are serious problems in the housing market, and 75% of Americans don't have $400 for emergencies. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Benzinga and written by A.J. Fabino, titled, "Housing Market Out of Whack," says ReVenture CEO. Home values still 4.6 times income, worse than 2006 bubble. The author referenced the CEO of ReVenture Consulting, who said, "The U.S. housing market continues to show signs of problems, even as mortgage rates edge lower. Homebuyer demand remains depressed, with mortgage applications down 57% from their pandemic peak and 43% below pre-pandemic levels." Well, my friends, this is not good news. While real estate brokers like to talk about how great the real estate market is doing, please understand they are often like cheerleaders. They aren't going to tell you how bad things really are. That isn't good for business. I recently went to an in-person continuing education training event to renew my real estate broker's license, and I was surprised by how much smaller the crowd was compared to past years. Some real estate agents are leaving the business and going back to a normal 9-to-5 job because they can't earn enough money in real estate to support their families. This is all due to what's happening in the real estate market. Getting back to the article, the author referenced recent data from the University of Michigan that revealed 87% of consumers believe it's a bad time to buy a home, surpassing even the early 1980s when mortgage rates hit 18%. When I read this, I was shocked. I would have never imagined consumers believe it is this bad right now. The author went on to reference the ReVenture Consulting CEO as saying, "The current home value to income ratio stands at about 4.6, which has only been approached twice before, which was during the 2006 housing bubble when it was 4.4, and the post-World War II boom when it hit nearly 5.0. We all know what happened after the housing mania in 2006. It wasn't pretty. I have to wonder if we could see a repeat, hopefully on a smaller scale, since that era was so painful for everyday people and financial institutions." I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, "This is like 2006 again, but with bigger drop in prices, since the prices went up much higher compared to 2006. The next commenter said, "All I know is we are in the top 5% of earners and think housing, restaurants, travel, etc. are outrageous. If we think that, how is everyone else doing it?" The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "Corporations are trying to corner the housing market. Naturally, the prices will go beyond the ability of the general public." Well, my friends, the commenters always have interesting things to say. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Today, I read another interesting article on Yahoo Finance put out by Benzinga and written by Callie Kilpack, titled, "Susie Orman says the personal finance of Americans is really, really bad, even though the stock market is doing great." The author of this article referenced a conversation between Susie Orman and Chris Wallace on CNN Max. Susie Orman said, and I'll quote, "What if I were to tell you that 75% of the people in the United States don't have $400 to their name in case of an emergency?" The author said Susie Orman described the financial situation of ordinary Americans as really, really bad. Did you pick up on the fact that the author used the word really twice to describe how bad the financial situation is for many Americans? This is the sad state of affairs here in our country. With how expensive life is here in America, it is scary that 75% of people don't have $400 in case of an emergency. This makes me think of a story that a friend of mine told me once. His girlfriend works for a veterinary clinic. A woman drove in the parking lot in a fancy luxury vehicle. She then walked into the waiting room with a very expensive handbag, very expensive shoes, and manicured nails. Her dog was sick, and the clinic determined it needed emergency surgery. She didn't have the money to pay for the surgery, which really surprised the people at the clinic given her image. They told her that she could put the cost on a credit card. She informed them that her credit card was nearly maxed out, so that wasn't a possibility. I have to wonder, how many people live their life like this? How many people are all show and no go? How many people have a big hat but no cattle? I'll let you answer that in the comment section below. Getting back to the article, the author went on to reference Susie Orman as saying, "The stock market doesn't measure the economic health for how Americans are doing." She said, and I'll quote, "On the whole, ordinary human beings in America today are living paycheck to paycheck, and they're not doing well at all." Well, my friends, I can believe this. Now that those paychecks aren't buying as much as they once did due to inflation, many Americans are struggling financially more than ever. This is likely why credit card debt is at an all-time high. This is likely why the housing market is softening in some areas. This is likely why fast food operators are seeing less traffic. This is also why many retailers are experiencing a slowdown. I have to wonder how much longer some families can hold on. Many are robbing Peter to pay Paul. Some are consolidating debt and using whatever tricks are available to sustain themselves in the short term. In the long run, some people may be in for a rude awakening. Only time will tell. Understand, I'm not criticizing people who are struggling financially. I feel bad for them. We live in a capitalistic society. Humans have been slammed with marketing on television and on social media since they were born. Many have been conditioned to spend money they don't have. Companies push easy payment plans and make people feel like they deserve it. We lack good financial literacy in this country. At times, it almost feels like it is by design. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, "The problem is those who should take responsibility for their financial well-being generally refuse to apply the discipline necessary to achieve any sense of financial stability." While I do believe some are in dire financial situations because of unexpected and severe expenses, I have known too many people who simply refuse to do the work necessary. The next commenter said, "The economy is doing great because people's finances are bad. We have built this economy on people spending without thinking. If everyone started to just cut down on spending, the economy would tank." The next comment came from someone who said, "Restaurants are full, nice cars on the road, people vacationing all over the place, new phones and clothes on people everywhere. These are all easy things to delay gratification on in order to save a little, but Americans are unwilling. I do not feel sorry for people who are unwilling to do the bare minimum to save a little for their own good." The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "It starts when kids move out of mommy and daddy's house and get a job and live on their own. They discover the debt boogaboo and they covet every trinket and toy that mature adults have. They covet a new car, a house, a family, you name it. The debt just balloons so big that it grows beyond their means. Debt from the car, the house, the credit cards, etc. Might I add student loans to the mix? Someone needs to educate our youth while they're in high school and explain all of this to them. Banks, credit card companies, etc. need to start denying such large credit amounts until the kids grow up and mature and show they understand and can manage their debt." I'm curious, what do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.